The royal family has been embroiled in politics on a number of occasions. King Charles was embroiled in political controversy this week when he hosted European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen at Windsor Castle just hours after Rishi Sunak signed the controversial Brexit deal with her, but it's not an isolated incident. The royal family has often been accused of getting too involved in politics, with even the late Queen coming in for criticism. Here are examples show it is a difficulty the family has faced since before the Second World War. 1938 Munich Agreement. After the signing of the 1938 Munich Agreement, the King and Queen invited Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain onto the balcony of Buckingham Palace to celebrate the apparent achievement of peace in our time. Siding with the Prime Minister so publicly on a policy without universal agreement was seen as a huge error of judgment and a major intervention from the monarch. The Queen Mother later admitted the balcony celebration was a mistake. Europe. Edward Heath embroiled the Queen into politics as Britain moved towards membership of the European Economic Community, EEC, by initiating a state visit to France and offering the Germans a visit to Buckingham Palace shortly thereafter. Her trip to Paris in May 1972 was branded ill-advised by Eurosceptics given that the EEC accession was still going through Parliament. During the visit, the government repeatedly tried to make her vocally support the EEC. But palace aides watered down such declarations. Thatcher fallout. In 1986, the Sunday Times ran a story, Queen dismayed by uncaring Thatcher, that detailed the apparent rift between the monarch and the Prime Minister over the latter's refusal to impose strict sanctions on the apartheid regime in South Africa. It included the claim, the Queen considers the Prime Minister's approach often to be uncaring, confrontational, and socially divisive. Diana's landmine campaigning. Princess Diana's campaign for a worldwide ban on landmines was criticized as being inherently political. It appeared to endorse Labour's policy and put John Major in hot water as he said Britain would not support a ban until all countries had signed it. Diana was outspoken about the need to ban the plague on Earth and described the UK government's policy on landmines as hopeless. The government later signed the Ottawa Treaty in December 1997, 3 months after her death, which banned the use of landmines. Sophie Wessex speaks out. 2 years after she married into the royal family, Sophie Wessex was embroiled in a political row. In 2001, recordings were released of damning conversations of the royal criticizing then Prime Minister Tony Blair. His wife and Chancellor Gordon Brown, the Sophie tapes saw her dismiss Brown's budget as pap, criticize Blair's attempts to ban fox hunting, and accuse former Prime Minister John Major of leaking damaging royal information to distract from his political problems. 2005 Charles sent secret letters to ministers in an attempt to influence government policy. The 27 letters, known as Black Spider memos because of his spiral handwriting, were released after a 10-year legal battle to reveal their contents. The letters revealed the heir to the throne had lobbied the Prime Minister and other senior ministers on the defense budget, the national curriculum and badger culling, in 2012. The BBC security correspondent got in hot water for revealing on the radio that the Queen had told him, in a private meeting, she was aghast that radical Islamic cleric Abu Hamza had not been arrested. He was known for airing vehemently anti-British views as Imam of Finsbury Park Mosque in North London. Frank Gardner said the monarch had told him she had spoken to a former Home Secretary about the case. The journalist later apologized for disclosing the private conversation.